Mondays can suck, and that's okay. Hello everyone. I hope you're all doing well. I am feeling pretty bunged up today, pretty anxious, very tired, groggy, hay fever is playing up. I think that's probably it. Probably also because my diet isn't the best at the moment. I've got about £8 in the bank until payday. So that's some of my thoughts on a Monday, and I think it's important to recognise that sometimes your Mondays just are gonna suck, and I think you might be able to tell on here. I think I am someone that falls into the trap of toxic positivity. I don't know how much I convey that here, but so for those of you that don't know what that means, because I'm pretty new to the term, I think it's kind of like overly positive, overly optimistic, as like a coping mechanism what am I saying? Instead of dealing with the things that just do suck and that aren't good. So almost like suppressing or repressing the negative emotions rather than like sitting with them and dealing with them. So it could be like flipping it to like almost flipping those negative things that are there into a positive, or just kind of neglecting their existence, that kind of thing. And I think I do that. I think there's times where I'm definitely getting better at understanding that there are going to be things that suck, as I say, and I don't need to like twist it into positives all the time. Yeah, I guess that kind of makes sense. And in terms of how that looks with other people, I don't know how much I do this. I think I do sometimes, like even here, kind of trying to make everything positive, or a lot of the time making things positive. I do stand by a lot of it, where I do think we should try and find positives in our day and things like that, but I think we should also acknowledge that it's not this idealistic world where everything is perfect, because that's not real life. So like an example with other people could be things like, oh well, it will get better. Like, yeah, okay, maybe it will, but for some people it's not necessarily that's not true. Sometimes it isn't true, but it's more, is that productive to say to someone who is struggling? And maybe it is for some people, maybe it is, but for other people maybe that might feel like it's invalidating. That's just an example. Or I don't know. Yeah, we'll go with that example. Anyway, so I'm walking a dog, so I'll try and focus. Yeah, so I was actually going to title this and make it about can you hear that bird? I was going to title it something to cheer you up on a Monday. Maybe this will cheer you up. To be honest, I kind of want it to be that too, but I want it to cheer people up by recognising that we don't have to resist that feeling, that Monday feeling of start of the week, maybe the start of the week doing your job that you don't like, for example, or just the start of a week which means lots of commitments and things like that. The person is coming now, so I will wait a second. I think she's on the phone. I'll pretend that I'm FaceTiming, or that I'm on the phone too. How about that? Yeah, I think that maybe some other people do resist that. Yeah, good, thank you. Okay. Yeah, sorry, I'm filming the video.
No, sorry, I just didn't want to walk past you without just
Oh no, not at all. No, I'm doing good. Just filmed a video. Thank you. Have a nice day. Oh, that's very sweet. To be fair, that Monday feeling of to be fair, it does look from an outsider perspective that I'm just, so you're leaning on my bag. I can't really show you. Leaning on my bag, and the way I'm sat for perspective is I'm kind of sat like leaning down. Oh, that's actually, oh, that's so nice of that lady though. Yeah. So where was I? I don't want to say something overly positive now. No, I don't know how I feel is that I like that I'm very positive about things, and that won't change, but it's more I can be very positive, but I can also acknowledge the things that aren't so good. I don't need to turn them into positive things. Does that make sense? So yeah, today, like as I was walking over here, I was thinking, how can I do a video? I wasn't really sure. I was going to talk about toxic positivity, which I've done. I was going to talk about something to cheer you up on a Monday, but then that's kind of ironic, isn't it? Because I'm trying to like cheer people up and maybe cheer myself up when I'm not feeling like I'm full of energy. Although I'm really upbeat this morning. When actually, yeah. So I was saying, oh, maybe I can cheer people up. I don't really think I need to this morning. I think maybe I just want to acknowledge that Mondays and any other day can suck sometimes. I'm not saying that today sucks for me, by the way. That's not the case. Like, I was being a bit jokey when I was saying a few of the things that were not as great. But I think there is a narrative of like Mondays sucking as a day generally, because it means going back to work after a weekend. It means for a lot of people that freedom of the weekend where they can do things that they can't do during the week because they're working. They can maybe spend time with their family, do hobbies, spend time with their partner, whoever it is, their kids, or like even just if you're by yourself, but you're working during the week, just like having time to yourself that isn't work, whatever that might look like. And I think we should validate that too. It doesn't mean, I think it can go too far where it's like Monday is the worst day ever, everyone hates Mondays. I actually don't hate Mondays. That's again, like I actually just don't, because maybe I wouldn't like Mondays as much if I didn't have football on Mondays. So for me, this is where there is a positive on my Mondays. I get to go and play football, and it's one of the best bits of my week. So there is something to be said for finding a bit of time. Like I do something like that, finding a bit of time to do something that you enjoy, especially on Mondays when you've just had the weekend and you're back to work. And yeah, the reality is that some of you might hate your job, and it's a reminder of that when you go from not working at the weekend like this. I understand that people work at the weekend, but let's say the normal Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, whatever. Yeah, it's going back to work on a Monday as a reminder that you then have 5 days of this until you get that feeling of it being a weekend and maybe doing the things that you actually like again. So yeah, I know it's very generic and very obvious, but it's important. Yeah, so Mondays can suck, and that's okay. It is okay. And this is also me telling myself that yes, like Monday isn't sucking for me right now, but I'm also not feeling amazing. I'd say I felt better yesterday morning. Yeah. Just some thoughts from me. I do hope that you all have a nice Monday though, however. But if you don't, that's okay. But I think we should try and... God, I don't know, I think two things can exist at the same time in terms of I definitely believe we should try and, like, I guess it's kind of toxic positivity, like always making the most of everything, but I'm not going to change. I don't think I'm going to change much in terms of I am fairly positive. It's more, I think I've said this already, it's more I can find the good and the good bits in things and good bits in people, but I also want to acknowledge the bad bits, negative emotions, negatives in people. Just being a bit more like balanced with it, maybe. Not pretending, not always, and I'm again better at this, but there are definitely times where I try and pretend that everything's okay, when I don't need to, and none of us need to, because if we're pretending, then we're not actually looking at the things that aren't okay. Yeah, does that make sense? Hope so. I hope it's not too morbid this morning, but yeah, maybe it's a reflection of the fact that I'm not feeling the best this morning. So yeah, but this is a good example of when you're not feeling your best, sit with that, and you don't need to like instantly feel amazing. You don't need to like resist that feeling either. It will just pass. And slipping into that again, like, no, I don't know why I'm being so hard on myself this morning. It will pass. It's that impermanence. Like, it's not, I'm not trying to say that everything will get better, but it's more like feelings, thoughts, emotions are fleeting. They might endure for a long period of time, but there will come a point where they at least ease, and that might be pretty quickly, like fluctuating, ebbing and flowing. It might be more longer term, but yeah, there's also something to be said for just sitting with those feelings while they happen, being aware of them and not trying to fight them. And it can be as simple as this morning, just me not feeling my best. I need to fight that, because sometimes when I feel a bit anxious, I can recognize why, or I might just, for example, I think last night I just didn't get enough sleep, and there's just, yeah, there's going to be things that I'm anxious about as well, but that's okay. We can sit with those things, and recognize them and kind of process them and look at what's going on for us. Yeah, so I hope this video has kind of made sense. I probably could have stopped it about 5 minutes ago, but glad that I didn't end the video and then start a new one when that lady was walking by. A very nice lady who was checking that I was okay. Yeah, all right. Well, I hope you do have a nice Monday. If you don't, then I'm sorry. And I hope that tomorrow can be better for you. Okay. Be kind to yourselves. Be kind to others and take care of everyone. Thank you. Bye. Hello, everyone. Oh my goodness. Right. Just got back from work. Gonna have a nice little Diet Coke. It has been... Oh, I hope you enjoy that noise. It has been a horrific day. A horrific Monday. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I spoke it into... No, I didn't speak it into existence. I was hoping it wouldn't be a bad day, but It's almost fitting that after what I spoke about this morning, which I've combined the clips so that it's one video. But yeah, I filmed the video before work, that first bit, and then you will see it transition into this bit where I'm now at home. Yeah, I've got back home. So today and at work specifically, like work was just absolutely awful. If I'm being honest, I won't go into it too much, but the behavior from the kids was just it was bad. It was really bad. And they basically, like, a lot of them were just saying that they hated me, and I know they're kids or they're young people, whatever you want to call them, like students. And I'm an adult, I'm a grown adult, but at the same time, I think I want to I do want to validate the fact that it's gonna hurt to be told that like I hate you and these sort of things, and it's hard to, as much as I don't want to take things personally, and I know that like I'll get much better at this, I'll become more resilient, I'll understand what is theirs and what's mine. From my perspective, people pleasing, wanting people to like me. From their perspective, whatever's going on for them, that they're then taking out on me, or maybe they're reacting to like me being an assistant and having to like essentially tell them off sometimes, or not always be just kind of like going along with it, and just, well, not going along with it anyway, but like sometimes there's some leeway, isn't there? But other times you just have to be quite firm with them. And I think today has been a tricky one with, yeah, it's just been hard, to be honest. It's been the worst work day at my new job, which again I've only started a couple of weeks ago, but it's definitely been the hardest and worst day. To be honest, one of the hardest days of me working full stop. I haven't worked massive amounts, but I have worked before. Worked in my previous role for 6 months, worked part-time before, these sort of things, over the summer, etc., etc. As another job. But yeah, I know that I'm not like much older, having worked for years and years and years, but still, like, I've worked before, and I think this is one of the hardest days I've had. I don't want to be melodramatic, but it's affected me today. As I said, I wasn't like in the best way this morning anyway, and so I might have been able to deal with it better today, if I was in like better spirits. But I think, yeah, it was just tough, to be honest. Felt pretty rubbish. It's hard to like put a brave face on and act as if it doesn't affect you when I'm someone that it's quite easy to tell, like, in my like day-to-day life, if I am affected by something, I'm not very good at hiding it. Yeah, especially like when it's happening in that moment. Yeah, but it's a learning curve, and I will learn from today what I can do better as an assistant, like support staff, LSA, teaching assistant, learning support assistant, whatever you want to call it. I'll learn from today how I can be a better assistant, how I can maybe communicate better with the kids, and how I can learn to not be as affected. And again, like, I can rationalize it and understand that I'm doing my job. I'm trying to do it to the best of my ability, and I'm learning how certain kids react to certain things and how I can communicate better. and adapt my style to different kids and what works well there. And also just, yeah, it's very new to me, this, working in this role. So yeah, and understanding what might be going on for them, or if I can't understand exactly what, knowing that there might be something going on and it's not about me as much. Sometimes it might be, sometimes it might literally just be that, but a lot of the time there's going to be more stuff going on for them, and empathizing with that, which I can definitely do. But it's not to say that it's not going to affect me. You don't want to be told, you don't want to be like shouted at and like screamed at and told that they hate you and things like that. Yeah, it sucks, but I'm just going to sit with that. I'm going to process that. As I was saying this morning, you're going to have those rubbish days, those off days, those Mondays. Not that this is specific to a Monday, but it just kind of fits for what I was saying. And maybe it adds context to, like, that might come into it with, like, maybe the kids acting the way they have, with it being a Monday. Who knows? Maybe not. But yeah, I'm just going to kind of process that. I'm going to cook some dinner now and just chill for a bit. And then I've got football later, which I think will improve my mood and improve my mood. And yeah, it'll be fine. It will be fine. I might cut that bit out, by the way, because I realise if I put my mirror up, you can see everything. You can see all the mess behind me, so it's a bit embarrassing. Maybe I'll cut that bit out and continue talking. I get quite anxious about things. Don't know if you could tell. Yeah, it's been a tough day. I hope that you're all having a better day. I hope that you're having a good day. But if you're not, as I'm going to tell myself, know that it's okay. It's okay to have those rubbish days, and like, it's okay to be angry, upset, fed up, whatever emotions. It's okay. I really want to emphasize that because I don't want to resist how I'm feeling. I'm feeling rubbish. I feel like I could cry, to be honest. And that's not like me asking for any pity or self-pitying or self-loathing. I'll do that a bit. I definitely will. I'll be feeling sorry for myself a bit tonight, but yeah, I know that tomorrow's a new day as well. And also today, I could go and have a great football session. It could turn around. Even if I don't, even if the rest of the day and football's rubbish, like, I'm just gonna be with that, to be honest. Not every day has to be good. Yeah. This is sort of like this is before I've had time to process it as well. And I think I'm glad that I've done that, because if I was to talk about it tomorrow, I might be talking about it in a different way. But this is kind of literally just got home, and now speaking about it. But it's just been a mad one. I want to talk about it here without like it being some sort of rant or anything like that, or anything like particularly detailed. Just kind of had a bad day at work. The kids have misbehaved. I've taken it personally to some extent. That's that. That's kind of it summarized. And I'm just gonna learn from it on my end. Learn how I can deal with things better, whilst also validating how I'm feeling right now, but also developing that resilience to know what's mine and what's theirs, and know that if I'm doing what I can, if I'm doing what I feel is right as a like support staff, and also know that I am trying to help people. That's like my primary goal here. So if I'm doing that in a way that I think is like, I don't know, a good way and to the best of my ability, which I'm trying to at the moment, I know I can always be doing better, then I won't be too hard on myself, and I'll know that as long as I'm trying to do my bit, that's all I can do. Yeah, right. Well, I might cut out that little bit. Well, you won't know which bit if I've cut it out, but just me like show the little makeup mirror where I like sort out my eyebrows and my moustache. The monobrow. God, what am I saying? Just because it was mirroring what's behind me, or no, in front of me. Just mess. Oh yeah. Anyway, have a nice rest of your day, everyone. Whenever you're watching this, and that's me for today. Yeah, it's probably one of the more emotional ones, even though like I'm not crying or anything, but like not feeling my best and just kind of speaking to you all about it. Well, be kind to yourselves, be kind to everyone else, and take care. And I will really try and stick to that too today, for the rest of the day and every day. A good reminder for us all. Yeah. Thank you for watching, everyone. Bye.